Today, we'll be speaking to a global powerhouse in the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics sector, popularly known as STEM. From the slums of Ibadan, Nigeria, to the global stage in Canada, she's been recognized as a top 100 most influential women in Canada. And in my opinion, she's a force that's unapologetically setting the tone for how we view female leadership moving forward. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Adeola Olubamiji to the story of becoming. Dr. Adeola Olubamiji, thank you so much for joining us here on the story of becoming. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for having me. How are you doing?
We're good. It's such a pleasure having you on. Can I just say you're such a force? You're such a powerhouse. I told you before we started, I follow you on social media, and I'm just like, who is this person? Who is this woman? I mean, how do you feel when people say that about you and all of your accomplishments?
I feel honored, right? Like hearing that from another powerful woman, inspirational, someone who is a leader, someone who is well respected. I think that is humbling, and that is just beautiful to hear that. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Let me just provide the audience with more context, right? So your accomplishment is a lot. I'm going to read my script for this one. You're a Nigerian Canadian technologist. In 2017, you were the first Black person to obtain a PhD in biomedical engineering from a 112 years old university in Canada. You're a TEDx speaker, a social media influencer, an awardee of the top 100 Canada's most powerful women in 2020. In 2019, you were named one of the 10 L'Oreal Paris Women of Worth in Canada. In 2019, you were named as one of the 27 influential women in manufacturing in the US. Come on now. And this is not all. This is not all. So do you feel, knowing your story, and we're going to talk about your story, do you feel like all of the struggle paid off when you hear and think about your accomplishments?
I just oftentimes feel like it's surreal. It's not possible. I'm imagining this. This is not happening. That's exactly how I feel. I sometimes I feel like I'm dreaming. I'm probably gonna wake up. I don't really think a girl from the slum is gonna do all of that. I'm just dreaming. That's exactly how I feel. And every time there's a new award, every time there's a promotion at work, every time there is a new level being added, I just wonder, why me? Why? God, why me? Why did you choose me? Why not someone else? But if not me, then who?
Then who else? You have to set the standard.
Yeah.
Someone has to be at the forefront, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So
now,
the whole struggle, I would say, paid off, because I felt like God really compensated me for all of those times when I doubted myself. I didn't have anything, or I didn't even think that any of this would be possible. So yeah, it paid off.
And what I find so admirable about you is the fact that you're a strong Christian. I mean, you've said God more than 3 times now, and I've watched interviews of you saying, God is at the forefront. You prayed, you fast to get to, to pass different milestones in your life. That's very beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah,
You
it's awesome, right? I feel like if there's nobody supporting us, maybe all of this wouldn't be possible, because I don't feel like it was just hard work that got me here. So thank God.
Now, let's go a little deeper with this. When I see you and hear about all of your qualifications and, 3D printing and whatnot, it makes me wonder why. Like, Dr. Addy, why science? Why engineering? For you, why technology? And when I think about this even one level deeper, I think about the fact that there are very few Black Nigerian women in that industry. So why? Why? And then when I even think about it another level deeper, I remember a clip that I saw of you when you said you spoke to your dad in the living room. You saw a picture hanging on the wall and you said, "Daddy, I'm going to be a professor and I'm going to have my PhD." So exactly what is the inspiration behind all of this? Why? What is the innate vision that you have that made you go into this field?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be a little long here. So why? So I have a couple of whys, and one of them is poverty's bastard. You know, like I grew up
I
poor.
love it.
I grew up in a home where we had nothing, where 6 people were living in the same room. I had to share a bed with my sister every day, and my mom and dad sleep somewhere in that same room. My brothers in that same room. All I was praying for was a life where I will have my own room. And I saw my mom wake up every day at 3 a.m. She was a trader for a while, and then she became a farmer. And she wake up every day at 3 a.m. and go out to work. And she comes back late every night. And yet we were still living in that poverty. So I knew that I wasn't going to follow the path my parents took, because hard work sure does not guarantee success. They taught me that. They taught me that only hard work is not going to deliver that. You have to add something else to it. From them, I realized I have to look outside of my zone to find inspiration. And I have to look, well, how do I break out of poverty? How is there another route that's not gonna make me a prostitute or travel to Libya by road? Where that's what people in my neighborhood were doing. I grew up in Mokola, and at that point, my own brother went to Libya by road. My own blood brother. And I had people on our street who were like at a very young age, who were like prostitutes, or the prostituting themselves, like the people who were older than my dad, to get money. So why? I needed another route that was clean to get out of poverty. When I looked at those examples, and the only way that I could find the right one is looking inwards, because outside on our street, there was nothing there to offer me that route. And I started having conversations with my dad and said, hey, this your cousin that lives in America. Didn't you guys grow up in the same neighborhood in Ondo? And my dad made me understand, yes, what differentiated them was education. These people got education and he wasn't able to get it. And because of education, they got scholarships. My uncles were like ballers. My uncle is one of the first, the pioneers of atomic bomb. My uncle is one of the very top clinical professor in the US at that time. Obasanjo gave them awards and stuff like that. I knew that those people were part of my family. And the only reason why they had a leverage out all the kids abroad was because they had education. So I told my dad, I'm going to get that exact education, a PhD in physics, just like this, your cousin, because I knew that that will offer me a path to innovation. My uncle was a professor of physics and atomic bomb innovator, and he would offer me an opportunity to go to America, just like my uncle. So from a very young age, I knew that I had no other option than to excel in my career, than to be the best in my class at all time. It was war every day when I went to school. You can't beat me, because I'm here to be able to get out of here. And everyone needs to find their why. Why are you doing what you're doing? What is the connection? For me, my uncle was that, when they said there was this golden snake on the tree, and whoever looked at it is going to be safe. That was my golden snake. Every time I look up and I saw the picture of my two uncles, I knew that there was no going back when it comes to education. I had to make it.
Right. You spoke a little bit about your upbringing. Paint a deeper picture for us. So you were the fifth of 5 kids.
Yeah.
What was it like? I've heard you say you sold pepper.
Mm-hmm.
You were hockeyed. So tell us more about that story, what growing up was like.
Yeah. Growing up for me was not beautiful at all. And it was also beautiful. The beautiful part of growing up was having community. A place where it's the slum, but we were all connected because there was no hiding place. Face me, I face you, everything. Everyone was united, and we were just happy despite not having anything. We were not worrying about paying bills. We weren't worrying about anything. We could dance freely. We could have fun freely. We could do things without even thinking about what tomorrow will bring. I love that part of my growing up. I also love what I saw within my home. My first role model was my mother, the woman, the lioness who woke up at 3 a.m. every day, just fighting to make sure that she will never beg for food for our children. And I watched my father really adore my mom. You know, he would worship her. He would take care of us. They would just, you know, they just manage their tasks together. It wasn't like my dad would be watching TV when she's cooking. They did stuff together. I watched them build a family despite not having much. And I watched them really stay true to their integrity. What I didn't like, well, of course, so I grew up in Mokola, and I love my neighborhood. Shout out to Mokola. You know, if I ever like go back to do anything, that's really where I'm going, because that's where I connect to. There are things that happened there that I felt like when I look at, God used them for a reason. So I'm the fifth child of 5. My parents already had 4 kids. And they were done. My uncles were like, no, that's it, no more. Then my mom got pregnant again. And everyone is like, go about the baby. We don't need a 5 child. We don't have 5 children. The 5th child is we don't have money to do that. And my mom stood her ground. She said, I'm keeping this baby. I'm not going anywhere. And it's my child. This is going to be my child. Nobody should feel sorry about wanting to help me take care of this child. So since she was pregnant with me, I was a child. And when she had that baby, all my life, I had to wait for my sister to not use the clothes anymore so that she can give it to me. I had to wait, you know, when they're paying tuition and all that. Mine always got paid last because I was the child they didn't want that came. So I had to wait for my turn. I had to wait for things to be given to me because I didn't have a position. I just kind of stole a position. And imagine knowing that when you were 8. I knew that when I was 8. So all my life, I knew that you can't make too much noise. You can't cause trouble for your mother. You can't do too much stuff. My father loved me. My father loved me a lot. And that's how the story came out, because I heard them arguing where my dad loved me a lot. And my mom is like, what if I had aborted the baby? Would you love her like that now? And I overheard that. And as a kid, I internalized that. I didn't have to ask them, but I knew that, oh my God, that actually happened. And later on, I asked my mom, and she held me and said, you're my child, and I'm proud of you. And I'm proud that I kept this baby. But how do you feel as a kid, knowing fully well that you're actually not wanted? When I look at my naming ceremony, my uncles didn't come.
Oh, wow.
The pictures show that they were absent. Yes. So
for that same
as a
reason.
kid, yes, they weren't there.
Oh my God.
And when I look at that as a kid, growing up in the slum, knowing I wasn't wanted, I knew that I could not misbehave because my mother was going to get blamed. So every day I worked hard, wanting to do one thing, to prove everybody wrong.
Powerful. That's the only word to describe it. A cliche word, but that's the only word to describe it. Powerful. And if I can just add on to what you said, I grew up in Nigeria as well. I grew up in Lagos from a comfortable family. And I remember driving across the street of Lagos and seeing young girls hawking. And the culture in Nigeria was we always look down on those people. And so now to see you and what you've become, it changes my perspective and a lot of people's perspective, because we know what hawking means in Nigeria.
Yeah.
You know, and so to hear all of this and the connection to your mom is just powerful and so beautiful. I really commend you, Dr. Addy. I truly do. So how did you escape Nigeria? If that's even the good word to use. I'm not sure. I hope I didn't get people angry. So you did your master's in Finland. How did you get there? And then from Finland to Canada? Very briefly, tell us about that.
Yeah. You know, I've always just wanted to leave home, right? Because I knew that environment wasn't good for me. So I went to college. I went to Olubamiji University. And while in university, I had a chance to do internship in Lagos. And that was my first experience of Lagos. So when I got to Lagos, I didn't know, I didn't have a place to stay. So my friend asked me to stay with our brother. And I wasn't comfortable there, but they really liked me. I got another place. That other place, my sister's friend's friend asked me to come and stay with her in a little room. And our brother happened to help people with admission and traveling abroad and asked me, what would you like to do after your degree? I said, I'd like to travel abroad for my program. So when the opportunity came, he asked me if I wanted to be a part of it. No, he didn't ask me. He just asked my new sister that I live with and said, hey, does she have any degree stuff in the house? She said, yes. So he just took it and put it in. And then my name was on the list of people who was Savonia University in Finland give opportunity to come and write entrance exam. If you pass, then you get in. And then a day before the exam, I went to Ibadan and they just called me, you need to come home today. You're going to Ghana tomorrow to write this exam. What is that? So you just go and write it. So I traveled to Lagos back. I went to Ghana by road. I wrote that exam. I passed. And then he's like, do you want to go? I said, yeah, I want to go. I just graduated. I want to go. And then he said, all right, go get some little money. Come and go. And that is what I call Lagos is my success story. Because without that internship opportunity, I wouldn't have met this man and his sister who were like very far away from my sister. I wouldn't have met them, right? So they helped me to really say, okay, get to Finland. Once I got to Finland, I realized that program wasn't what I wanted. So I decided to say, I'll do a master's degree. So I got my transfer from Nigeria and I applied for the school that offered me the master's degree. I got in. Then I realized my Nigerian degree wasn't worthless. And I got into that master's. I wanted to do physics, which was what I did my bachelor's in. I wanted to do something similar to what my uncle did. But I didn't want to make atomic bombs. So I wanted a new physics area. Then I found biomedical engineering, medical physics. Then I got in there. And that's how I escaped Nigeria and got to Finland.
Your Niger girl came out, enter Finland, Abby. One chance, no turning back.
One chance. One week. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's so funny. And so in Finland, you were working as a cleaner, 2 jobs as a cleaner while also studying, and you graduated top of your class. Hello?
Yeah.
And so how did Canada open up for you after Finland?
So after the master's, I needed to Finland. I realized wasn't the place for me. There was language barrier, there was racism, there were no good jobs for people. So I said I needed to go to an English speaking place, and my aim was to end up in America. So maybe wherever, America or Canada. So I was applying for a scholarship so I could get my PhD as I wanted to get it, and Canada opened its doors to me. And I moved. I remember landing in Pearson Airport. I came back out from the plane and I opened my mouth and said, welcome to the land flowing with milk and honey. And I'm here to take it. I said it loud. I could hear myself. And yeah, I went to Saskatchewan. I didn't know they didn't have a lot of Black people. I didn't know, but I knew my program was very new, was very revolutionary. Nigerians weren't doing something like that yet. So I knew that this is where the future is, Industry 4.0, digital transformation. Let me just be in that. It's okay if nobody's doing it because I've done my research. And that's how I decided to end up in that PhD program that I did, which turned out to be the best decision I had made my entire career.
So would you say, and I always ask everyone this question, would you say your step has been divinely orchestrated? Because I feel like you have power in your words. You speak it, you feel it, and it happens. So would you confirm to that?
Yes, I feel like God truly is around me. Everything I told him I wanted, and whether I am playful while saying it, or I beg him, or I fasted, he does them. Well, not in ways that I always, I'm the planner who say I'll go like this. It would still be to that game using his own all-knowing God, but it takes me there. But it takes me there, showing me that I'm still the God, I'm still the boss. Yeah, but you'll get there. But usually I get there, and we're here to live the American dream.
And it's a beautiful sight. Okay, so just think about your whole story, right, in lump sum. Right now, you have a foundation called StemHub. And pretty much it's focused on giving back to the community, raising the future young professionals in STEM. So would you say your upbringing inspired this foundation? And you see yourself in these girls or even the males that you mentor? What was the
Yeah.
inspiration behind the foundation?
So when I graduated, a lot of parents, a lot of young people, professionals reach out. We're proud of you. We love you. You're inspiring. But hey, biomedical, we're not doing that yet. How can I tell that to my daughter? Can you help me teach my daughter? And 50 people, 100 people wants me to meet people to talk about Industry 4.0. I can't do that. So I talked to a couple of my engineering friends and said, let's just float a foundation where we can give back. And some people say a lot of white organizations are already doing that. No, we have to do something by us, for us. And that's how StemHub started as, let's do it by us, for us. We don't have to wait for people to save us. Our people wants to see people who look like them. That is how they can believe that innovation is possible for us. And StemHub is my gift to Canada and to humanity for all that's been given to me. And my hope is to continue to preach to Black people that if we do not jump in the forefront of innovation, we will never be called innovation leader. In Industry 4.0 is now here. This is going to be here for 50 years or beyond. We have to jump in front of it. I don't want to just tell them to jump in front of it. I want to hold their hands and help them jump in the front of the right track. Same way I jump in the forefront of 3D printing, let me help somebody jump in the forefront of AI, machine learning, blockchain, cybersecurity, other areas, robotics, so that we can have more people who look like us at the top. And I'm hoping StemHub is doing that, and thankful for the opportunity to give back.
That's amazing. So we're going to wrap up slowly, and this is my final question. Like I said, you are a social media influencer, and I don't mean that lightly. And what I love about your platform is you use it to connect a lot of professionals to mentorship programs, scholarship availability, and just other resources for people wanting to get into schools in the Western world from Africa. I follow you, I see this, and I've heard young individuals testify to all the work you're doing. So what's next for Dr. Addy? What can we hope? Another country? Another continent? What's next? What's next?
Now, I'm no longer moving anywhere.
I love it.
Whatever God wants is next. I feel like God does things in mysterious ways. What next? I want to be a VP. So when I that's what's next. God, you can hear that. VP, it has to be next. Why? Nigerian youths needs to see young people straight from Africa in VP roles in tech companies in the US. That is how we can believe that we could do it. A lot of us diasporans come here and just look at the people who were born here doing great things. They're like, oh, that's inspiring. But we feel like that's not going to happen to us because we didn't go to school here. We want to change that. Now a director, next level is to become a VP and hopefully one to become a CEO. And still tell them, I went to Olubamiji University, and can you hear my accent? Purely Nigerian, straight from the slum. That is what is next. For people to become, they have to see other people become. People will not become what they cannot see.
No, Dr. Addy, over the course of this interview, I've been having crazy goosebumps and just excitement because, I mean, that's the only word I can think about, powerful. Everything you've just said right now, your passion for 3D, your passion for youth, your passion for the continent, it shines through everything you say and how you speak. You just smile and you light up. It's just so admirable. I have always watched you. I've been connected. I think we follow each other on Instagram, but now I feel like I'm now your #1 fan, okay? Can you accept me to your fan club? Send me the link, I'll apply, I'll come to your fan club.
I've been your fan too. Thank you for all the things you do for the community. Thank you for this platform. Thank you for, just being you out there and shining so that all of us can see that we're not alone. That's another Black woman. Don't feel like you're too much. Thank you.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for letting me shine. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Addy. And thank you for sharing your story of becoming with us. You have a beautiful rest of the day, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Do take care.
Thank you everyone so much for watching today's episode of The Story of Becoming. I am so thankful for our guest, Dr. Adeola Olubamiji. Our hope and desire is that you learn so much from her powerful story. You too can become anything you want to be with a strong vision, a powerful mentality, and the drive you can definitely push through. Thank you again, and stay tuned for next time on The Story of Becoming.